kingdom over everything. Or you can say kingdom over everybody. Are you willing to put your mind, body, and soul on the line?
Call this kingdom over everything. I'm about my Abba's business, for I be my wedding ring. Married to the gospel and I'm faithful, never giving up. That's word to the chief. My belief in the spiritual. Do the work, plant the seed. Christ is what these people need. Got them doctors that y'all feed. Souls burning cause of greed. Hands to the piss out, wipe the swins that from my brizz out. 10 toes biz out as I'm praying for my Chris out. Precept on them precepts while I let the spirit direct. Every move I miss, can't let the serpent dizzy my soul away. Praying for the strength to make it through the day. Darts flying at me, but Ephesians keep me trapping. Pappy say he got me long as I worship his son. He say I'll never lack as long as he is number one. That's why I'm on my knees begging for forgiveness. Regardless what y'all think, this kingdom business. Call it KOE. I won't let you get my life. I won't let you get my body. I'm a soldier of Yahweh. We gon' kill Illuminati. It's the kingdom over everything. We want the kingdom over everything. We call this KOE. I won't let you get my life. I won't let you get my body. I'm a soldier of Yahweh. We gon' kill Illuminati. It's the kingdom over everything. We want the kingdom over everything. We call this KOE. Got the spirit of Moses up against Janus and Jambres, exposing the lies. That's why these preachers is mad at me. Repping the covenant that was gained of my fathers. The spirit of Abraham got me drinking the waters. I call that fully persuaded. I pray to God that I make it up out this booth I'm in. Spiritually speaking, spiritually speaking. From what I've been reading, as long as I'm breathing, this 613 and I mean it. I got this work and I'm fiending to do it. Study to prove it. You ain't gotta believe it. He gon' make do in this season. We gon' be bending a knee. We gon' help rule in this kingdom. For the wicked it ends. They all gon' burn in they sins. I'm on the straight path, never turning right or left. Narrow is the road to salvation. We talking life or death. That's why I'm on my knees begging for forgiveness. Regardless what y'all think, this kingdom business. Call it KOE. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. We call this KOE. Whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. Whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it.
All praise, honor, and great glory is unto our power, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. Want to say happy Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom to all those in the chat. I got my nephew back with me. Say something to the people, nephew. Got your mic on mute.
Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Shabbat Shalom, family. We back in the building one more time. Happy and honored to be the reader this evening. Let's
all
get
praise.
it.
All praise, all praise. Once again, we back. This is part 3. Like I just told nephew, I thought it was gonna be a 4 or 5 part series. Probably gonna be longer than that because I don't want to leave nothing out on this, especially when we start coming back out of the tabernacle. So thus far we've gone on. We proved that Jesus Christ or Yeshua HaMashiach is the spirit of prophecy. We've looked at the outer court. We looked at the gate. We looked at the bronze altar of sacrifice. We looked at the bronze laver last night. We looked at the door and the pillars of the doors. And we even looked at the boards and the sockets of the tabernacle. So if we can continue our journey of the tabernacle, today, what we're going to try to get in, Most High willing, we're going to look at the candlestick, or what is better known as the menorah. We're going to look at the oil that goes inside the menorah. And we're going to look at the table that holds the showbread. Now, we won't look at the showbread today. But because the showbread, it's a whole lot to the showbread. But we're going to get to the showbread in the next part, but we're going to look at the table that holds or houses the showbread.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get this kicked off, nephew. In that Revelations, just going to give people a little refresher. We're going to get it kicked off with Revelations 19 and 10. And I want to say once again before my nephew gets started, hey, what's up to all those in the chat? Continue to pray for our beloved brethren and our beloved sister, Amnon and his wife, Colette. Continue to pray. I talked to my brother briefly this morning. Didn't want him to stay on the phone too long. Continue to pray for our brother. Continue to pray for his wife and continue to pray for his family. The brother needs our prayers. The sister needs our prayers. We need to keep them lifted up. Stay in the mode of prayer at all times for our family, for all of Israel. I want my brother home. And I know the Most High is well able to do. He said the fervent affectionate prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Y'all keep my brother and his family lifted up in prayer. All right, nephew, we're going to get started. Revelations 19. And then we're gonna read that verse 10, then we're going to get into the lesson.
All right,
go ahead.
Revelation 19, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell at his feet to worship him. Mm-hmm. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brother that have the testimony of Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Worship God. Mm-hmm. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
So once again, just reminding everybody, the testimony or the telling about of his time here on earth is the prophecy of Yeshua. Mm-hmm. So just reminding the people that everything that I can read in Moses and the prophets, I ought to be able to go over here and read it in the testimony and the other readings and scrolls as well. Because the spirit of Christ is prophecy. So let's go to the first place, Hebrew. And make sure I want to check into something real quick, because I think I got most of this on the PowerPoint till we get away from the menorah. But I want everybody to see this here. Yeah, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it like this. 1 second. I just wanted to make sure that was good. And then we're gonna get into it. Share screen. So we about to get into the menorah or the candlestick, however you want to call it. So we now on the candlestick, we not gonna get into too much of the almonds and the bowls. We'll deal with the almonds and the bowls as we coming back up out of the tabernacle. We're gonna touch on it a little bit. Not gonna touch on it too much today, because the candlestick, you can do a 4-part lesson just on the candlestick alone. But we just gonna touch on some of the bowls and the almonds and whatnot on the candlestick on our way in, and we'll try to get a lot of it, a lot more of it on our way back out of the tabernacle. But let's go to the first place. Let's go to Exodus, the 25. And we're gonna read 31 through 32, nephew. Exodus 25.
All right.
31 through 32. When you get it, Hebrew, go ahead and read.
And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold. Mm-hmm. A beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his boughs, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same.
Now, one thing specifically I want to point out, there was only 2 objects throughout the whole tabernacle that were made out of pure gold. That was the Ark of the Covenant and the lampstand. And there was a reason why those 2 objects were made out of pure gold, because both of those represent the presence of the Elohim, Yeshua HaMashiach and our Father. If you go to John 1 John chapter 5, verse 8, it said there, and these three bear record in heaven, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's why these things were made out of pure gold. They were not made like everything else that was made of acacia or shittim wood and then overlaid with gold. They were made with pure gold. Continue to read.
Verse 32. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it. 3 branches of the candlestick out of one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side.
So we're going to get into this candlestick. But first, we want to go to the purpose that why the purpose of the candlestick, why it was made. And we're going to see why the candlestick was made. I'm going to have to get out of this because I see I didn't change this on mine. Yeah, I did. I got it. We good. We're going to have to look at the purpose of the candlestick. Then we're going to get into the making of the candlestick. But let's go to the purpose. Let's go to the next place. Let's go to Matthew 4 and 16. Matthew 4 and 16.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 16.
What do it say?
The people which sat in darkness saw great light. And to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up.
So the light has sprung up to those who sat in the region of the shadow of death, because after mom and daddy fell off the map, death entered in. So ever since then, well, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but even before then, he knew, let me rephrase it, he knew that we were going to be sitting in darkness and there was going to be need of a light. Continue to read, Hebrew.
From that time, Jesus began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
So from that time, Yeshua began, when did he begin to preach? We're going to find that out. We're going to find out when he began to preach. Because he knew the people were going to be sitting in darkness and this light had to be sprung up. But this menorah is representative of so many different things. But the main thing we want to get out of this, as you look at this menorah, it looks like a tree with branches. In the center shaft, we're going to find out represents Yeshua. And the 6 branches off of it represents man, and it represents the years of man, and it represents the 7 spirits of God, and it represents all that will happen through the high days of your house. And we're going to look at all this going in, and we're going to look at some of it going in. We're going to look at all of it when we come back out.
Okay.
Let's go to the next place. Let's go to John the 1. John the 1. Because it said, from that time, Yeshua began to preach. Because a light needed to be sprung up. Let's go to John the 1. And we're going to get back into it. Because most of us, even to this day, are still sitting in darkness. But we're going to prove all things. When you get in Hebrew, go ahead and feed the people.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
So Bereshit, in the beginning, or with beginning, the Word. This is when he began to preach. And this is when he began to shine the light, because he knew men was going to be sitting in dark. In the beginning, or Bereshit, Dabar, or the Word, was with the Father. Continue to read.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men. Read it.
And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
So when he said, let there be, he said in the beginning, the world was without form and void, and darkness covered the deep. He said, let there be. The Word said, let there be. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. and the light shined in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Even in the tabernacle, the only light source that was there was the candlestick. And as the candlestick was illuminated, the light from the candlestick bounced off all the walls inside the tabernacle, because all the walls were acacia wood or shittim wood overlaid in gold. But that was the only light source in the entire tabernacle. So if we're gonna get down to that later on, where we're gonna find out that the only light source in the new tabernacle is gonna be the Father and the Son. Just what this was pointing to.
All praise.
Let's go to the next place, nephew.
All right.
Let's go to Revelations, the 1. Revelations, the 1. And we're going to pick it up at verse 11. And we're going to read 11 through 15. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Go ahead.
Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last.
Mm-hmm.
And what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia.
So once again, we got 7 churches. We got 7 lampstands. So once again, all these 7s are divine completion, divine judgment. And even as you look at the feast days, you got half the feast days that have been fulfilled through Yeshua. But you got the other half, tabernacles, atonement, the day of doom, the feast of trumpets. They have not taken place yet. Passover been fulfilled. The unleavened bread for the grain offering or the wave offering has been fulfilled. Pentecost, the gift of the Ruach HaKodesh, has been fulfilled. But the other ones on the candlestick, they have not been fulfilled yet. That's why he said, today is this scripture fulfilled in your eyes. He said he closed the book. Had he read the other part, other than Isaiah the 63, all kind of drama would have jumped off right at that moment. Well, we just showing you this candlestick is representative of many things. But we just dealing with the light. But go ahead and read, Hebrew.
Which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, unto Smyrna, and to Pergamos, and to Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
He said, and I turned to the voice that spake, but when I turned, what I saw was 7 candlesticks. But go ahead and read.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
look at your monitor. Look in the midst of the 7, that stem, that branch, that tree. In the midst of the candlestick, go ahead and read.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Yes, sir.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot, and the girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
With what kind of girdle?
Golden girdle.
With a gold. What the lampstand was made out of pure beaten gold, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
With a golden girdle and paps down to the foot. Continue to read, my brother.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
Yes, sir.
And his eyes were a flame of fire.
Yes, sir.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
To fine brass.
As if they burned in the furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters.
Now we talked about that fine brass before.
Man,
he said he the color. So he bringing not only he bringing perfection, but he bringing judgment. Because we know brass is the color of judgment. And he said the Father judges no man, but is giving all judgment unto the Son.
Yes, sir.
When he walked with Abraham, and talked with Abraham. Abraham asked him a question. He said, shall not the judge of all the earth do right? So now this man with the white hair and the brass feet that stands in the midst of the golden candlesticks that's got his loins girded with a golden girdle. We know who this candlestick is now.
Mm-hmm.
But we ain't done yet. We ain't never about done. Go to Psalm 100. Go to Psalm 100. We're going to read 1 through 5. Psalm 100. And we're going to read verses 1 through 5, because one thing about the light, he said he brought light to the people. It should be a light that every generation should be able to hear. Every generation should be privy to. Psalm 100, 1 through 5, nephew, when you get to go feed the people.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands.
Mm-hmm.
Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye that the Lord, he is God.
Mm-hmm.
It is he that made us, and not we ourselves.
That's right.
We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into the gates with thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
And into the courts with praise.
Yeah.
Be thankful unto him, and bless his name.
So read verse 5. This is where I want to get to verse 5. Look what it says.
For the Lord is good.
Mm-hmm.
His mercy is everlasting.
Mm-hmm.
And his truth endureth to all generations.
So every generation. Now we know he gave man 7,000 years to be on this earth. Count the lampstands on the menorah, and there's going to be a light to every generation. He said to all generations. So the 7 generations, he gave man 7,000 years. And he said he knew it from the beginning that man was going to be sitting in the dark. So for every generation, he gave a light. It's just like when Elijah, he told the Lord, man, I done killed all your prophets. He said, man, I got 7,000. Ain't never bowed the knee to be. He going to have somebody in every generation. That light is going to be in every generation to get to the called and the elect of the Most High. He couldn't be a God that is fair if the light wasn't in every generation. This is another thing that the representative of the, I told you can do a whole 6-part lesson just on the menorah. The light got to be in every generation for him to be a just and true God. Now let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next plate. We up on the screen with the script. Can you see him, Mike?
Yes, sir. You go to Numbers, right?
Yes, sir. Numbers. Well, first thing I want to point out, so y'all won't think I'm just saying something about this 7. So let's look at the PowerPoint, Mike. And that word up there in the Hebrew is menorah. Okay? Now, the mem is 40. The noon, which is the second letter, and you know you read Hebrew from right to left. For those who don't know, we reading the Hebrew from right to left. So the mem is 40. The noon is 50. The resh is 200. And the het is 5, which equals up to 295. Now, when you put 2 plus 9 plus 5 equals up to 16. You make that 1 and that 16 or 1 and the 6. You go 1 plus 6. That equals up to 7. So even in the name, the Hebrew name for it equals up to 7. So now we know anytime I go to an object in the Bible or anything I talk about in the Bible or in the tabernacle, its name ought to be numerically correct to what its name is in relation to what it is. It's 7 candlesticks. The menorah or the candlestick in Hebrew, menorah, equals up to 7. So there you got about 15 different ways you can prove out your point about the menorah. And nobody should be able, from going forward, should be able to disprove you on anything about this book. I told you we're going to do a lot of learning on a lot of different fronts together. So even in the name, the Most High had to be precise and concise in what he called it and how he named everything. Just as he named the camel and everything else, he had to be precise in the naming of the thing when you go back and you read and try to find out what's really going on with this. Now, the menorah also is known as the tree of life, or a representation of the tree of life. We're going to prove that out. Go to Numbers, my brother. You already Numbers?
Yes, sir.
Hold on, Numbers. Let's go to Numbers 8, and we're going to read 1 through 3. Numbers 8, read 1 through 3, Hebrew. What do it say?
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and say unto him, When thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick.
Yes, sir.
And Aaron did so, lighten the lamps, therefore over against the candlestick, as the Lord commanded Moses.
So listen to what you just read. Aaron is the high priest.
Mm-hmm.
Moses is the intercessor. Moses showed Aaron how to light the lamps. Once again, I'm trying not to give too much away, but we're looking at a primordial conversation going on right here, if you will, before there was anything. The father talking to the son and telling him, hey, man, this is how you going to do this. But he said, Aaron did so. He lighted the lamps over against the candlestick as Yahweh had commanded Moses. So let's go and look and see, and we can figure this out in the testimony. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3. And we're going to read one verse. We're going to read verse 22, Hebrew. And when you get it, go ahead and feed the people.
And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever.
Wait a minute. We read over that John, it said that his light was the light of men. It was the life of men, and he was the light. So if you're looking at this menorah that looks like a tree with 6 branches on it. Let's go somewhere else and read something else. I'm going to minimize this right now. I'm going to pull up the apocryphal Hebrew. We're going to Sirach the 19. I'm going to pull that up in the room for the peoples. Hold on.
All right.
All right. Sirach the 19, we're going to read verses 19 through 20. What do it say?
The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
Oh, so the tree of life, if he would have just ate from the tree of life, the knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Keep on reading.
And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Hey, he said, lest he reach forth his hand and take from the tree of life, and he live forever. But he said, they that do these things that please him shall receive the fruit or the light of life to immortality. What does verse 20 say?
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law, and the knowledge of his omniscience. I can't say that word. I know what it say.
You got me laughing, man. Omnipotency. But it's talking about his all-knowing, all-seeing, all-everywhere power. And the knowledge of him being omnipotent. The performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency is what this tree of life, that is the light of men, will bring. But we ain't done. We ain't about being done. You're going to go back. I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to go back to the full share. We're going back to the PowerPoint. All right. Now, let's go to John the 15. Let's go to John the 15. We got one verse we're going to read there. Let's go back to John the 15. And this is how you go precept upon precept, line upon line. And you begin to put these things together, and you see the story that was told even from the beginning, even before time. I tell you what, Hebrew, read 1 through read that 1 through 5. I tell you what, read that 1 through 5. 1 through 6. I'm sorry, 1 through 6. We're gonna read 1 through 6. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman.
Yea.
Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he taketh away. Every branch that breatheth fruit, that bears fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
So if you abide in the vine or the branch, he said, every branch in me which does not bear fruit is taken away. He said he take it away. Meaning the Father, the same one that drew you, is going to be the one to take you out of here. He said, and every branch that beareth fruit, I'm gonna clip it and purge. I'm gonna take it through some things and make sure it's gonna bear fruit. But look at the menorah. All the branches come off that center stem, do it not?
Yes, sir.
Coming off that center stem, the light of men, which is the center stem, all the branches coming off of it. Now, the funny thing I found out about that, the center stem all by itself, you just count the center stem as a branch, as a root all by itself. Those 6 branches, those other branches equal up to the number 6, which is the number of man. So you got to abide in the true vine, the main branch, as a man, as a woman, to even try to bear some fruit. Can you see it, my brother?
Yes, sir. I see it now.
See, the oil was poured at the bottom and filled up, and it went into the other branches. They plugged into the main stem or the main branch. 6 is the number of man. 7 is the number of perfection. You can be perfected by staying what? Hooked into or tied into the main branch. See, we put down our Bibles and put down our prayer, and then we wonder why, hey, you ain't tapped in. You ain't tapped in. And you running out of gas, and you running out of oil, and you don't understand why. Problems come, situations come, and then you don't want to, you find yourself not doing the work. But you said it was KOE, it was kingdom over everything. Even with this situation, these last 2 days, I've been having to fight because I didn't feel like doing no lesson, man. I didn't feel like all I had my mind on was my brother. And I didn't feel like doing anything. But I made a promise. It was kingdom over everything and everybody. So even when the wind storm of life comes, you got to remain tied into the source. Like the young Blue had last week. Are you motivated? Are you dedicated? Life on the narrow path. Continue to read.
Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
Yes, sir.
Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself,
That's right.
except it abide in the vine.
That's right.
No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine.
Yes, sir.
I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit.
So we got two things. We done talked about 3 or 4 things, really. But these 2 main points we done brought out, the light and the one you need to be tied into to bear fruit. You can look at this visual picture, you can see them both.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you don't abide in me, man, you ain't going to bear no fruit. Did you read all that, my brother?
I got one more part.
Go ahead.
For without me, ye can do nothing.
Without him, you can't do nothing. Without him, you just spinning your wheels. Without him, you will have no oil in your lamp to give or to keep you going. Let's go look at let's go look at one more verse. Let's go to 2 Peter, excuse me. Let's go to 2 Peter, chapter 1. 2 Peter, chapter 1. We're going to look at verse 19. Verse 19, when you get in Hebrew, go ahead and read.
We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto you do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts.
I told you, we got a more sure word of prophecy. I can go back in Moshe and the prophets writing, and I can find Yeshua and have a more sure word.
Mm-hmm.
I can prove out the light to all generations. I can prove out the true branch or the true vine. I can go back in the prophets and have a more sure word and be able to prove it out through the scriptures. But let's look at some more on this more. Let's get into it. Like I said, we ain't gonna get into a lot of the almonds and the bugs. We're gonna look at a lot of that coming back out. But we got to prove all things, bro. So let's keep it moving. Let's go back to Exodus. Let's go back to Exodus 25. Exodus 25. We're gonna pick it up at the 33, man. We're gonna pick it up at the 33 and read 33 through 40.
3 bowls make like unto almonds, with a knot of a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knot and a flower. So in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick, and in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with the knops of their flowers.
Yeah.
And there shall be a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceeded out of the candlestick.
Yeah.
Their knots and their branches shall be of the same. All it shall be one beaten work of pure gold. And thou shalt make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, and they might give light over against it. And the tongues thereof and the snuff dishes thereof shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it with all these vessels. And look that thou make them after their pattern which showed thee in the mount.
Do you see how specific the Most High was? And this is why I say we can't get into the whole thing on the menorah and the knops and the bowl. But it was one thing he put on my spirit to deal with going into the tabernacle, and that was the armor. Because he had that put in there specifically for a reason. I said, man, why the armor? So as I began to do my research, and I found out that the almond tree is the first tree in Israel that begins to bud in the springtime. That said a lot to me when I said the almond tree is the first one to begin to bud. Where the light was the first thing that he created. Israel is his people. They the ones who are supposed to take hold of his word and his law. This light that he gives them. He gave it to Israel. I said, man, how am I going to relay that to my brothers and sisters to get them to understand that? Let's go to Numbers 17. Numbers 17. We're going to read one verse. Check, this is when Aaron's rod began, the high priest rod began to bear fruit. The high priest rod was put up against the other priests, or the other ones who wanted to be the high priest. Just like our high priest has been put up against everybody else, and they all come up short. But this is what he had on the menorah as a sign that his light and his life would always be the first to bud and the first to bear fruit. Number 17 and 8, Hebrew, what do it say?
And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and brought forth buds, and bloomed, and blossoms, and yielded almonds.
It yielded what?
Almonds.
So the high priest rod yielded almonds. Once again, everything in the tabernacle, everything on the table, everything on the lampstand pointed to Yeshua in the kingdom. The high priest, which at the time was Aaron, his rod budded with blossoms and almonds to show I'm going to be the first and the last. Because the almond tree was always the first to bud in Israel. But we ain't done. Psalm 132. Just connecting the dots and showing how intricate and how specific our power is. Nothing was left out of anything, or the devil would have occasion against our power. Psalm 132. Read 17 through 18, Hebrew.
There will I make the horn of David to
Hold
bud.
up. Stop. Who's the horn? Who's the power of David?
Christ.
He said, there will I make the horn of David to what?
Bud.
Uh-huh.
I have ordained a lamp.
Anointed. Wait a minute. So the power of David gonna bud, and he's ordained a lamp or a menorah for mine set apart one, my anointed. Well, we finna get into it next. You know you got to have the oil to be anointed, don't you?
Right.
So who is he talking about? Once again, another thing that the lampstand is showing you. Started at 17 to read it again, brother.
There will I make the horn of David to bud. I have ordained a lamp for mine anointed.
Yes, sir.
His enemies will I clothe with shame.
Yea.
But upon himself shall his crown flourish.
Now, the high priest had the mitre on the crown. So once again, everything still pointing back to Yeshua. All you got to do is slow down and read it. Let's go see if we can prove it out in the new book. Let's go to Luke the 2. Luke the 2, and we're going to pick it up at the 30, Hebrew. Luke the 2, We're going to pick it up at verse 30, read 30 through 32. When you get it, my young brother, go ahead and read.
For my eyes have seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared before the face of all people.
Yes, sir.
A light to lighten the Gentiles,
Yeah.
and the glory of thy people Israel.
There it is again. We just read about David's horn, bud, and the light.
Right.
There it is right there. Which thou hast prepared before the face of all people, a light to lighten the Gentiles and the glory. This was the only light in the temple. This was the only glory that you could see in the temple because it was the only light in the temple. And the glory of thy people Israel. Now, when we get on down into it, the light was directly across from the table of showbread. And it was 12 cakes representing the 12 tribes of Israel on that table. And the light or the lampstand or the menorah was directly across from it, giving it light. Genesis 43 and 11. Genesis 43. We're going to read one verse. Verse 11. This is our daddy Jacob.
Yes, sir.
This is our daddy Jacob. Look what he said. 43 and 11. What he say, Hebrew?
And their father Israel said unto them, if it must be so now, do this. Take of the best fruits in the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds.
So this is an acceptable offering made by an honorable man. This is an offering that our daddy Jacob deemed to be acceptable in his day and time with these almonds. Because the almond, again, was the first thing to bud. The almond, again, was the first thing to bear fruit. And these things were looked at as acceptable offerings. So the Most High, it was a reason why he told them to put these almonds on this lampstand. Significant reason. He didn't do anything by happenstance. The almond was representative of life. And Christ is the light of men, is the life of Christ. Let's go to Isaiah the 1. Let's go to Isaiah the 1. We almost through, but we got to pick up something before we get out of here. Because guess what? It's 7 spirits of the Lord is supposed to rest upon the Messiah as well. Let's go to Isaiah 11, man. Now, if this don't show you that this lampstand is representative of Yeshua, there's something wrong with you. Because the 7 spirits of the Lord should rest upon him. The central staff, wisdom and understanding, all of that. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Let me move this up. You there yet, Hebrew?
Yes, sir.
All right, when you get it, go ahead and read.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse.
The stem? They're going to come a rod out of the who?
The stem.
The stem? Where the stem at? You looking at it right there in the menorah. And a what?
And a branch shall grow out of its roots.
Now look at what's coming out the base of the lampstand. Of the single branch. Coming out the lampstand. Continue to read, Hebrew.
And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him.
I want somebody to start counting when he starts naming off these spirits of the Lord. Go ahead and read.
The spirit of wisdom.
1.
And understanding.
2.
The spirit of counsel and might.
3, 4.
The spirit of knowledge.
5.
and of the fear of the Lord.
There goes 6 right there. But he in the center, that's 7, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Once again, proving out the word of the Most High by the word of the Most High, showing you how many different things that this menorah represented, but it all pointed back to Yeshua. The 7 spirits of the Lord, a stem and a branch. The 7 spirits, man, look, we could go on and on about this menorah. I promise y'all we could.
Yes, sir.
All we done is scratch the surface on the menorah. We're gonna look at some more when we come back out of there. But let's go to the next plate.
All praises.
Now we moving on to the oil. Let me get out of this real quick.
Okay.
Let me get out of this. Let me get out of this real quick. We're going on to the oil. I'll get back on my stop the screen share. Let me get down here to Exodus 27. Hold on. Y'all bear with me, Hebrew. I think I done fat fingers some stuff. I'm working off 3 different things here. Exodus 27. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm good. I'm good. Wisdom of Solomon. I'm sorry. We're going to go there first.
Wisdom of Solomon.
My bad, Hebrew.
Oh, you good, huh? You good.
I'm going to pull it back up, and I thought I was through my screen share for a minute. I'm going to have to pull it back up for the people. Pull that apocrypha back up with that Chrome tab.
Chapter 7 you want, right?
Yeah, give me a minute so I can get it pulled up. Yes, sir. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon 7. We're going to start at the verse 7. Then we'll be done with the menorah. My bad. Let me get this in here. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and verse 7. And we're going to read 7 through 10, Hebrew. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. Wherefore I prayed, understanding was given me. I called upon God, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison of her.
That's right.
Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as a little sand.
Yes, sir.
And silver shall be counted as clay before her.
Yes, sir.
I loved her above health and beauty, and choose to have her instead of light.
Instead of what?
Instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out.
The light that cometh from wisdom. Ooh. The light that cometh from the lampstand who give wisdom. The light, which is the light for men, this light will never go out. Didn't he say he gonna bring life and light to all generations?
Yes, sir.
He said, man, I love her better than gold, silver, beauty, and health. I'd rather have her light, for the light that cometh from her never goes out. Once again, another example of the lampstand pointing back to the Chakmah, or the wisdom of Yeshua. Now we can go on to the oil, my brother, that goes in the lamp.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the oil that goes in the lamp. Now we can go to Exodus 27. Now we can go to Exodus 27, Hebrew. Let me get there. Got too many buttons I'm trying to click before I get to where I'm going.
Take your time. Oh, me ain't no here.
I got 2 computers, a phone, and I'm looking at my notes over here. I'm trying to multitask, nephew.
All praise. Do your thing.
I'm trying to multitask, man.
Do your thing.
Exodus, let me move that down. There we go. Exodus 27. We're going to read 20 through 21, Hebrew. When you get it, go ahead and feed the people.
And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring 3 pure oil. I'm sorry. Let me start over.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring thee pure oil, olive oil, beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always.
Look, this lamp, this oil that you're supposed to put in your lamp, supposed to be burning all the time. And if you ain't got no oil to go in your lamp, then you're going to be walking in dark. Yes, I know things going to come up. Life situations going to come up. But you got to keep this pure oil. Not what mama and them and everybody that told you, not what you rationalize. You got to keep this pure oil beating for your lamp, that the lamp may burn always. And it's got to be pure oil. Continue to read, nephew.
In the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on the behalf of the children of Israel.
Man, this is supposed to bring a continual light or continual word of Yah for a continual praise. This should be all the time. It should never go out, but it's got to be pure oil. Let's look at it again. Let's look at it from another vantage point. Leviticus 24. Leviticus 24. One more. Leviticus 24, 1 through 4, Hebrew. When you get it, go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil, olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually. Without the veil of the testimony, in the tabernacle of the congregation shall Aaron order it from the evening to the morning before the Lord continually. It shall be a statute forever in your generations.
So when you approach the Most High, you got to bring, when you approach Yeshua, you got to bring a pure offering of praise. And the only way you're going to be able to bring a pure offering of praise is that which comes out of your mouth is that which comes out of the word. My feelings, my thoughts, my suggestions, my wants, my desires should not be what's coming out of my mouth, giving sacrifice and praise. It should be the pure word, beat, proven to bring life and light. So when he said, order the children of Israel that when they come, command them, when they come, they bring unto thee pure olive oil. Don't come up here with your words and your emotions. Don't come up here with your what I think, what I feel. He don't want to hear that. Well, Lord, you know, I had a death in the family, and I kind of just lost my way. Ain't good enough. It ain't good enough for him. When you come before the Most High, man, your words ought to be pure. Your thoughts ought to be pure, beaten, seasoned with the word of the Most High. You shouldn't be letting any old thing fly off your mouth when you come before the Most High to give him praise, honor, and glory, or even when you come to petition the throne. He said, command them that they come up and bring me a pure offering. And he said, that the high priest shall order the lamps upon the pure candlestick before him continually. The only reason why some of us still walking around today is because the high priest, Yeshua HaMashiach, is petitioning the Father night and day for our sorrow behind. That's it. That's the only reason why some of us still around.
Thanks.
Because your high priest is petitioning, give him a little bit more change. Give him one more change. Give him a little bit more time. They gonna get it right. But see, there's a time, you know, when that mercy gonna run out. The high priest was pointing to Yeshua. Everything, like I said, Everything in the tabernacle pointed to Yeshua the King. This is your high priest. For the one he commanded, he gave you your commandments. Moshe gave you the commandments, did he not? On Mount Sinai. He said, before they come to me, whatever they come to me with, it better be pure. It better be right. But even at that, because Yeshua know his creation, he's the intercessor. He's Aaron going into the veil, before the veil, to petition for his people.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, going right back to it. Let's go to the next place, Hebrew. Sirach the 34. Going back to the Apocrypha. Let me get it pulled up for the people. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 34. Is that right? Yeah, Sirach 34. Let me get it pulled up. 34, and we're going to verse 17, man. Here we go. Lights the eyes and raises the soul, gives health, life, and blessings. What the oil does. Let's look at this. Go ahead and read, Hebrew.
I'm sorry, I was in 34. I'm glad you got it. Okay, I got you there. He raiseth up the soul and lighteth the eyes. He giveth health, life, and blessing.
You see that? That's what the oil does. The oil that goes in the lamp, first thing it does is raises up the soul. He anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Then it lightens the eyes. Your word is like a light unto my feet and like a lamp until my path. He giveth health. He said, I will give praise and honor unto the Lord, for he is my help and my salvation. Life and blessing. All of the Most High, this pure oil, this beaten oil, this oil for the lamp that lightens the eyes and gives life. Let's go prove it in the New Testament. Go to Luke the 4. Go to Luke 4.
Luke the 4.
Luke the 4, brother. We're gonna read 18 through 21.
That's one of my
Luke
favorites.
4.
All right.
Verse 18, when you get it, go ahead and read.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. Because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears.
I'm going to read that again. He will say, and the oil or the ruach of the Yahweh is upon me, because he has anointed me with this oil, with this truth, with this word, with this light, for me to preach the good news, the lifting up of the soul to the poor, to heal the broken heart. Didn't he say he's going to lift up the soul?
Yes,
you read
sir.
that? He said he's going to give life and blessing, deliverance to the captive, and recovering of sight, give sight to your eye, to the blind.
Yes,
Just
sir.
read the same thing in Sirach 34. But because, why? He was anointed. He was anointed to do this. His oil, his words, gives life and light. We ain't done. John 6.
John chapter 6.
John 6 and 6. You're going to read 63 through 66, man. This is what the oil is pointing to. They're going to tell you that you can't find Yeshua in the scriptures.
Oh,
6 and 63 Hebrew.
He in the volume of the book.
He in the volume. That's right. He's in the volume of the book. It is written of him. 6 and 63, brother. What did it say?
It is the spirit that quickens. The flesh profit in nothing.
Yes, sir.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
He said the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Continue to read.
But there are some of you that believe not. For Jesus knew from the beginning who they were that believed not. And
wait a minute, bro. Did you catch that?
Yes, sir. He knew from the beginning.
Wait a minute. He said he knew way before this world was even a word.
Yeah.
How many of y'all are gonna be real and how many of y'all are gonna be fake? He knew who gonna be drawn to the light or who gonna love to sit in dark. He knew who was gonna take this anointing oil and let their head lack no ointment. And he knew who the ones gonna run out ashy every day. He knew it.
Yes, sir.
Continue to read, nephew.
I'm gonna start that over. That was powerful.
Yes, sir.
For there are some of you that believe not. For Jesus knew from the beginning who they were that believed not, and who should betray him. And he said, therefore said I unto you, that no man come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father.
Yes, sir.
From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him.
So you see that?
Yes, sir.
Now, you got to understand, he used two key phrases there. He knew those that would betray him. And then after that, many of the ones, they turned back. So they were rolling with it.
They turned.
It was all good. But their head lacked a little ointment. They wasn't all in. They didn't want to do this thing all the way to the end, Hebrew. They was one of them jokers, man, that was just along for the ride. As long as the ride was smooth, hey, I ride with you. But when it come out, I had to get out and change the tire, or I got to get out and push it a couple of miles to the gas station. I'm done with you.
They worship me with their lips.
Yes, sir.
Their hearts are far from me.
Their hearts are far from me. That's what he's saying. But they ain't got no oil.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got no oil, Hebrew. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, one of the books of writings of Solomon.
Oh,
Ecclesiastes.
In the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll go back to the Apocrypha.
No, not Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiastes.
Yeah.
We're going to read verse 9. Chapter 9. We're going to read verse 8, man. Because guess what? A lot of them turned back. He said, man, it is a spirit that quickens. The flesh profited nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are light and life, man. Ecclesiastes 9 and 8, what do it say?
Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment.
Man, you see that?
Yes, sir.
Let thy head, he said, man, that oil that flowed down Aaron's beard. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Man, you can't you got to keep this thing all the time in front of your face. So when situations arise, things come up, man, even when it's heartfelt, pain and sorrow, it's going to bring you back to yourself. Say, wait, man, I still got to keep going. I still got to keep moving. He said, don't get no stain on your garment. Don't have no current sins on your jacket. And never let your head be without ointment or oil. You better keep this oil, keep your lamp full of that oil, man. Because you ain't got that oil in your lamp, well, you can go left quick. I know I can. I done seen time, man, when I ain't just all the time looking around and trying to pay attention and be aware, and may I slip and do or say something. I'm like, no. Because guess what? I didn't keep them like frontness between my eyes, man. I had my head didn't have no ointment. I jumped up that morning, didn't meditate, didn't pray, didn't read, didn't listen to no lesson, and just ran out the door. And then when I get out the door with it, and all hell breaks loose, I'm like, I ain't had no ointment that morning. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. We
can't do that, man. We can't do it. Let's go to now we finna look at the table. Let me go back to my PowerPoint. We done with the oil. Don't never let your head lack no ointment, people. We going to the table. I don't know. Let me see what time it is, man. We might be able to get the showbread off in here. How long we been on, nephew? Oh,
it's 2:11.
Man, we might be able to get that showbread in here.
Man, let's eat.
We might get that showbread here, nephew.
Let's get it.
We're going to get this table real quick that the showbread sits on. We're going to get this table that the showbread sits on. Then we might be able to get to the showbread. The table. I want everybody, I always put the PowerPoint, but I want everybody else to see what the table looked like. These are just replicas of the table that was in the tabernacle. This is what the showbread sat on. This is what the showbread sat on. This is the table. Now we're going to go back. Now, hey, we're finna get into something on this table. And I want y'all to bear with your brother. But let's go there, Mike. We're going to Exodus, the 25. We ain't going to read but one verse in there because there's something I want to get out of here.
All right.
I want to get out of here. Exodus 25, Hebrew. We're going to read verse 23 only. We coming back to it, but y'all just bear with us. Read verse 23, man.
Thou shalt also make a table of shittim wood.
That's acacia wood. We go ahead and read.
2 cubits.
Hold up. How many cubits?
2 cubits.
That's 3 feet. That's 18 times 2 is 36 inches. Go ahead and read.
Shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof.
And how many cubits the breadth thereof?
A cubit. 1 cubit.
1 cubit is 12 and a half inches. So 1 foot 6 inches. You understand what I'm saying? That's 18 inches, right?
All right.
Go ahead and read.
And a cubit and a half, the height thereof.
A cubit and a half, which is 27 inches. 18 plus 9 is 27, correct?
Yes, sir.
Don't finish that out. We finna do something. We finna look at something.
And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold. And make thereunto a crown of gold round about.
Now, we're going to get back to that crown too, but right now, I just want to look at the measurements on the table. Now, the table, we finna look at something. You had 36 inches, 18 inches, and 27 inches, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, 36 plus 18 plus 27. Somebody get the calculator out and tell me what that is. I don't know about think I'm just 18 plus 36. No, plus 27.
18 plus 36 plus 27.
What is that?
81.
81. Now, what's 8 plus 1?
9.
Oh, okay. Now, let's go look at something.
All right.
This table that you want to sit at, this table that the 12 loaves of bread sit on, 9. Now let's go look at something. Let's go to Galatians, my brother. I want y'all to keep that 9 in mind now. Don't lose 9. Yeah, keep that 9 in mind.
All right,
and this is the table of the showbread. This is the table that your face is on. This is the table that your forefathers going to be sitting at. Let's go look at something. Galatians the 5. Now, we're going to look at this 9 again. We go back to Exodus. Right? We're going to look at this number 9 again.
Okay. All right.
Matter of fact, while you doing it, I'm going to go and pull some up in the room so the people won't think I'm just saying something. Let me see what I want to do here first, Hebrew.
So we're going to keep 9. Remember that in Exodus, right?
Yeah, keep that 9 in mind.
Okay.
I want y'all to keep that 9 in mind, man.
All right. I got it circled over here on my notepad.
All right, hold on. You bear with me, Hebrew. I'm looking for something. Yeah. I want to pull up something. You know what? I ain't got it with me, but that's all right. I know where to go get it. Don't worry about it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. I already know where to go get it. But go ahead. Read that Galatians. Read Galatians. Hold on. Let me get there. Read Galatians 5. Let me get there because I want to show and prove. You know me. Galatians 5, 22 through 23. Now, number 9 now. If you want to sit at the table, now, here's what you want to do if you want to sit at the table. 5, 22 through 23, what it say?
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such, there is no law.
Wait a minute. That's 9, ain't it?
That's 9.
That's the 9 fruits of the Spirit. 9 of them. Now we finna look at something else. I want y'all just hold, y'all bear with your brother. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12. We're going to read 8 through 10. No, I'll tell you what. Read verse 1, then read 8 through 10.
Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant.
Now read 8 through 10, brother.
For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom.
1.
To another the word of knowledge.
2.
By the same Spirit. To another faith.
3.
By the same Spirit. To another gifts.
4.
Of healing. By
5.
the same Spirit. To another the working of miracles.
6.
To another prophecy.
7.
To another discerning of spirits.
8.
To another diverse kinds of tongues.
9.
To another the interpretation of tongues.
Same one, the tongue. So there go another 9 for you.
Yes, sir.
So you got the 9 spiritual gifts and you got the 9 fruits of the Spirit. And we're going to show you what that represents on this table. Go back to Exodus 25. Exodus 25, my brother. I got to find mine. Hold on. You go, hold on. Give me 1 second, brother Mike.
All right, take your time.
Give me 1 second here. Because I got to pull this up. I want to show it to the people. Where is it at? I know it's in here somewhere. Man, I know what it said. I just pull it back up in the PowerPoint. But let's go to Exodus 25. While that brother pulling that up, I'm gonna go look at my PowerPoint and get what I want. Go ahead, Mike, and start feeding the peoples out of there. This is what I want right here. We're gonna look at this from a different point of view. But go ahead, Mike.
And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereunto a crown of gold round about.
What kind of a crown of gold?
Round about.
Around the top of the table. So you're gonna have a crown on the top of the table, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead and read it.
And thou shalt make unto it a border of a hand breadth round about. Mm-hmm. And thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereof round about.
Yeah. That's it?
Yes, sir.
All right, now I'm gonna go back. I want to share this. I want to share this right here with the people about this 9. Then we'll get back to the crown. I want to share this real quick. Now, but you said the crown round about, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me pull this back up.
And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold round about.
Okay. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. I'm doing something here. All right, now, here we go. Now, man, now I know this ain't the slide forward, but I want to show this to everybody because I want y'all to see this for your own eyes. Now we were dealing with the number 9, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't pay attention to the stuff over in the white because I couldn't find my chart. I want to pull the chart, but I want y'all to focus in right here on the letter Tet. All right? What number is about the letter Tet?
9.
The number 9. And it means to what? A basket, a snake, or to surround. Now, what did he tell you? Put a crown of molding around it, right?
Yes, sir. Round about.
And the table was representative of 9, right?
Right.
Meaning to surround. So who gonna be getting surrounded? We finna find out. But y'all see that? You can see that mic where my cursor pointed to.
Yes, sir. I see.
I want to pull that Hebrew chart back up real quick so the people won't think I'm just pulling something out the air. Now we're gonna go back and get back in the scripture. But something's gonna be, he said, put a crown of molding around the top of it, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Now, so wait a minute. I messed up. Let me look at this real quick. Let's go to Matthew the 8th. Look at this table. Then we're gonna go back and get into that. Let's go to Matthew 8. Let's look at this table and who's gonna be sitting at the table. Matthew 8. We're gonna read 8 through 10. 10 through 12. I'm sorry. Matthew 8, 10 through 12, Hebrew.
Yes, sir.
Matthew 8, 10 through 12. When you get it, Hebrew, go ahead and feed the people.
When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith. No, not in Israel.
Right.
And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven.
Sit down? Where they going to be sitting down at? We're going to find out in a minute. Go ahead and read.
But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
So as we get into this next phase, you're going to see that the showbread was taken away every 7 days. Some of the children of the kingdom are going to be taken away. And the high priest is the one who decides who gets taken away. But he said, you're going to sit down, sit down at the table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This table that was in the tabernacle, this going to be in the kingdom. This table going to be in the kingdom that everybody going to be sitting down in. He's going to be in the Father's kingdom. Let's go to Revelations 3. We ain't done yet. We ain't about done. Revelation 3 and 19, Hebrew. Oh, we're going to be able to slide this bread in here. We're going to get this bread in.
All praise.
We got to do the bread because since we didn't do the table, it wouldn't make no sense without the bread. So we're going to do the bread too. Revelation 3 and 19, Hebrew. When you get it, go ahead and read.
As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten.
That's right.
Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in into. I mean,
wait a minute. You had to go through the door to get to the candlestick and the table.
Mm-hmm.
You had to go into the door of the tabernacle to get to the table of showbread. He said, if any man hear my voice, I'm going to come in and sit down and sup with him at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and read.
To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne.
Oh,
Even as I also overcame and sat down with my Father in his throne.
Mm.
And he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches.
And he that has some understanding,
Mm-hmm.
let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches, okay? So this ain't going to make no sense if I don't do this, so we're going to have to go to the showbread, Mike, to bring this all the way home, and then we'll call it quits after we do the showbread. So you want to follow along. I didn't even think we were going to get that far, but I'm going to give you the scripture, Leviticus 24. If my reel would be so kind to post it in the chat, because I didn't get to put that in there. Leviticus 24, 1 through 9.
Leviticus chapter 24, 1 through 9.
Hold on, Hebrew. Let me pull my PowerPoint back up. Because I want them to see this picture worth 1,000 words. We're going to get to this showbread, which is one of my favorite subjects in the tabernacle. We'll get back now where we'll get it. All right, let's go to the picture of the showbread. And the table that the showbread sits on and the showbread. Leviticus 24. Let me get there, Mike.
All right.
Leviticus 24 and verse 1. Now, the showbread is called Lechem Hapanim, meaning the bread of face or the bread of presence. Now, this bread is always in the presence of the high priest and the priest. The showbread is a plural word, but it's always in a singular form, which means the face that is accepted or the countenance, inquire, favor, presence, the serve, the fear of, toward the mouth. So this is the bread of the presence. It was 12 loaves always before the high priest's face. What are you saying, T? Israel, your face, your mind is always before the presence of Yahweh. It sits on a golden table with a crown around it. Why a crown? So nothing can fall off of it. 12 cakes, 6 on one side, 6 on the other side. Are you going to be sitting at the table or are you going to be cast out in the outer dark? The table of showbread or the bread of presence or the bread of face. Lechem Hapanim. Leviticus 24, Hebrew. Read verses 1 through 9.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil, olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually.
Go ahead.
Without the veil of the testimony, in the tabernacle of the congregation shall Aaron order it from the evening until the morning before the Lord continually. It shall be, a statute forever in your generations.
Yes, sir.
He shall order the lamps upon the pure candlestick before the Lord continually. And thou shalt take fine flour and bake 12 cakes thereof. 2/10 deals shall be in one cake. And thou shalt set them in 2 rows, 6 on a row, and upon the pure table before the Lord. And thou shalt put pure frankincense upon each row, and it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So this bread, you even had to put, you see these on the right-hand side, you see these 2 cups of frankincense for a burnt offering of the bread to bring up a sweet smelling savor before your house. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
And then he said it has to be a fine flour, unleavened. This is you, Israel. But go ahead and finish it out, brother.
Verse, I'm gonna start over at verse 7. I lost my place.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt put pure frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
What does verse 8 say?
Every Sabbath he shall set it in order before the Lord continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant.
So when you don't show up on the Shabbat day, he said every Sabbath these cakes, this bread of presence, needs to be set up before the Lord every Shabbat. So we know who the 12 cakes represent. So when you don't show up on the Shabbat, when you pollute the Shabbat, when you doing what you want to do on the Shabbat, you ain't keeping the commandment, and the Most High ain't looking for you, and he can't see you. Because you're supposed to be set up every Shabbat before the Lord with a sweet smelling savor. You can't come to Shabbat class all mad, mouth twisted, got the monkey mouth, mad at your husband, mad at your wife, mad at your brother, mad for a sweet smelling savor every Shabbat. These cakes got to be set up. Finish it out, Hebrew.
Verse 9. And it shall be Aaron and his sons, and they shall eat it in the holy place. For it is most holy unto him of the offerings of the Lord, made by fire and a perpetual statute.
For what?
Perpetual
statute.
Forever.
So this ain't supposed to end. This ain't supposed to stop. This ain't supposed to never be. You ain't never supposed to be not in front of the Most High Yah. Your face is supposed to be there continually. The high priest is supposed to be always be able to see you every Shabbat. No excuse. And it's supposed to be a sweet smelling savor before him. But let's go prove our point. Let's go prove our point, Hebrew. Right. Let's go to Exodus. Let me see if I want to do that. Hold on. Exodus, we won't need that. Leviticus. Let's go to Exodus 25, one verse. Exodus 25, we're going to read verse 30, Mike.
All right.
25 and 30, Hebrew.
And thou shalt set up on the table showbread before me always.
Now, they go to second witness. If you're going to be at the table, you're going to be on the outside. He said, thou shalt set up this bread of presence, the bread of faith before me always. So what you going to do with that? What you going to do with that, Hebrew?
Going to be obedient.
All right, let's go next to the last place, Hebrew. I think this next to the last place. Hold on. Oh, no, we got plenty of them. We going to Isaiah the 44, and then we got about 5 more after that, then we out of here. We got about 5 more, and we out of here. Go to Isaiah the 44. We're going to read verses 1 through 8.
Isaiah chapter 44, 1 through 8.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready for me to begin.
44, 1 through 8. When you get it, go ahead, Hebrew.
Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel whom I have chosen. Thus said the Lord that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon my seed, and my blessing upon thine offering.
Did he say the cake had to be mixed with pure oil?
Yes, sir.
Did he say, I'm going to pour my spirit upon you?
Yes, sir.
Continue to read.
And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water courses. As one shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. Another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel.
There you go again. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Thus said the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last, and besides me, there is no God.
Now, we read that earlier.
Yes, sir.
In that Revelation 3.
Yes, sir. Alpha and Omega.
That's it. Go ahead, Hebrew. Down to verse, read down to verse 8.
Okay. And whom so I shall call and shall declare it and set it in order.
Wait a minute. Set what?
Set it in order for
I thought he told the priest to set the showbread in order.
Yes, sir.
Before him at all times. The 12 loaves or the 12 cakes, he said, set them in order before him always. What we just got you talking about, they're going to name themselves Israel, they're going to call themselves Jacob. But he said, you better set them in order. Once again, prophecy bearing out prophecy. The spirit of the prophets being subject to the prophet that we're going to read over here in the new book. But go ahead and read.
Since I appointed the ancient people and the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time and have declared it? Yea, or even my witness. You are even my witness. Is there a God beside me?
No, sir.
There is no God. I know not any.
And me?
That's right.
I don't know any other God but this God.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep it moving. Exodus 37. Exodus 37. We got about 4 more after this. Exodus 37, we're going to read 11 through 12.
All right.
11 through 12, Hebrew. Exodus 37, 11 through 12. What did it say?
And he overlaid it with pure gold and made thereunto a crown of gold round about. Also he made thereunto a border of a handbreadth round about. And made a crown of gold for the border thereof round about.
Why he keep bringing this stuff about round about, round about, round about? We finna find out. We gonna find out why he keeps saying put a crown of gold round about, put this here round about, put that round about. Go to Sirach to 34. Go back to Sirach to 34. We're gonna read verses 15 through 16. Sirach 34, we're going to read 15 through 16. Sirach chapter 34, verses 15 through 16. When you get in Hebrew, go ahead and read.
Blessed is the soul of him that feareth the Lord, to whom doth he look, and who is his strength? For the eyes of the Lord are upon them that love him.
Wait a minute. This is set before the Lord always. Yes, so the eyes of the Lord are upon him that love him, and what else?
He is their might. I'm sorry. He is their mighty protection and strong stay, a defense from heat, and a cover from the sun at noon, a preservation for the stumbling, and an help from the falling.
Wait a minute. The table of showbread was set on the side of the tabernacle by itself. It had 4 different types of coverings over the top of the tabernacle from the sun, from the heat and the cold. It was shined on by the light. It had a crown molding around the table to keep the bread from falling off. Blessed is he that trusts in the Lord. Read that last verse again. 16.
For the eyes of the Lord upon them that love him. He is their mighty protection and strong stay.
Yes, sir.
A defense from heat and a cover from the sun at noon. A preservation from stumbling and a help from falling.
So when you was inside, when the table of showbread was inside the tabernacle, couldn't nobody really get to it but the priest and the high priest. So wasn't nobody gonna be messing with it. It wasn't gonna fall off the table. It was under the covering of the tabernacle from heat, sun, and everything else. The bread of presence. And they said his eyes was always on them that trusted him. That bread was always set before the high priest at all times. He could always see the showbread. Now, let's keep it moving. Let's go on and prove it out. Go to John chapter 6. Go to John chapter 6. We're going to read verses 1 through 5. And then we're going to skip down and read 39 through 40 Hebrew. John chapter 6. 1 through 5. 39 through 40. I hope everybody out there gets some understanding, get some edification. We got about 2 more after this and we out of here. John chapter 6. We're going to read 1 through 5. Then we're going to skip all the way down, read 39 through 40. John chapter 6, 1, what did it say, man?
After these things, Jesus went over the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. And a great multitude followed him, because they saw his miracles, which he did on them that were deceased. Diseased, I'm sorry.
Disease, yep.
And Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples. And the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was nigh.
What did he say, man?
When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he said unto Philip, when shall we buy bread that these may eat?
Now, you got to understand the dynamic what's going on. Who sit at the table with the disciple? Yeshua. Then he asked, hey man, we're going to get bread so we can feed all these people. But I ain't going to get into that because that's a whole nother lesson. But you got to understand the high priest is sitting here at the table with from each one of the 12 tribes.
Yes, sir.
And they talking about bread. But skip all the way down to verse 39, man. Read 39 through 40. Check this out.
And this is the Father's will that sent me, that of all which he has given me, I should lose nothing.
Lose nothing.
But should raise it up again at the last day. And this the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day.
He said, hey man, no one, he said, for I came down from, he said, and this is the Father's will which has sent me, that of all that he has given me, that I should lose nothing. That's what that crown, the molding around the top of that table of the bread of presence, nothing was going to slide off of it. Nothing was going to be knocked off of it because they had a tall crown of molding around it. He said, that bread of presence out of all the people that the Most High has given me, out of all the 12 tribes that he's given me, I'm not going to lose not one that the Father has drawn to me. I'm going to raise him up at the last day.
Yes, sir.
1 Peter 2. 1 Peter 2. We're going to read 9 through 12. 1 Peter 2. 1 Peter 2. We're going to read verses 9 through 12. Then we got one more after this. 1 Peter 2, verse 9 through 12. When you get it, Hebrew, go ahead.
But ye are a chosen generation,
a
royal priesthood,
a
holy nation,
a
peculiar people.
Wait a minute, wasn't this bread set before the Lord all the way? It was holy and dedicated to the high priest.
Yes, sir.
When that bread, we read that, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
He said, "You are chosen. You've been chosen.
Yes, sir.
You royal. You're a royal priesthood, a holy, you set apart, and you're a peculiar people." Go ahead and read.
That ye should show forth the praise of him who had called ye out of darkness.
Oh, didn't the candlestick sit across from the showbread?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Into his marvelous light.
Yes, sir.
Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God.
Yes, sir.
Which had not attained mercy, but now have attained mercy.
That's right.
Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, estranged from fleshly lust, which war against the soul.
Yes, sir.
We keep reading.
We're gonna read down to 12. Yes, sir.
Having your conversations honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may be your. That may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the day of visitation.
In the day of visitation. Did you see that, brother?
Yes, sir.
Did you see it? You are chosen. You always before the face of the Most High. You're a royal priesthood. Only the priest, Melchizedek, is always watching you. A holy set apart. These loaves ought to be set apart before him every Shabbat day. A peculiar people. When everybody else was out popping firecrackers and shooting guns, we was observing the Shabbat. That's weird to people. My mama called me last night. Soon while we getting off, you ain't out there shooting up. No, you know I ain't got to shoot no gun. Although I got plenty of them to shoot, I ain't shooting none of them. Right. No, I'm in the house. I said, when you called me, we were still on there. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I know y'all be praying and everything. Yeah, we procure. See, we ain't out there doing what everybody else doing. That's right. Because guess what? The eyes of the Lord on you. The eyes of the Lord. Man, he on us. Yes, his eyes burn 10,000 times brighter than the sun. That's right. Just like that candlestick inside that tabernacle bouncing off them walls of gold, looking right over at that showbread, the bread of presence, the bread of faith. And hey, you got to be doing some awful things, bro, to get pulled off that table when it's got that crown of protection around it. Woo. That hedge of protection around it. You got to be doing some awful stuff. He said, man, because the one that the Father gave me, I ain't going to lose not one of them. So what you doing is slide off that table or get knocked off that table. That's what I'm trying to figure out. You got to be doing some awful stuff to get knocked off this table. Man. Or maybe you just one of the ones. Maybe you was one of the ones that were condemned before the beginning of the word.
Well, we read that scripture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go to the last place, Hebrew. You had something to say?
Yeah. Did you have something to say? Like the vessels of honor and dishonor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know it. Yeah. Let's go to the last place, Hebrew. John the 10th. And we're going to read verses 22 through 24. 22 through 24. Then we're going to read jump down and read 27 through 29. John the 10, 22 through 24. And then we're going to read 27 through 29. Then we're going to be out of here.
All right, gotcha. Verse 24. Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, How long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Christ, tell us plainly. Jesus answered them, I told you, and ye believe not.
That's right.
The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. Skipping down to 27.
Yes, sir.
My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I gave unto them eternal life, that they should never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
Well, if you fall off the table, you really want his anyway. Because he said, anybody who the Father gave, ain't nobody going to pluck them out. My sheep hear my voice. The ones that's in my presence that's really mine. See, you could be in the presence of your house, just like Judas was in the presence. Just like them 70, they was in his presence, but they turned and betrayed him. But the true one, the true bread of the presence, the Lakim Hapanim, they will never be plucked out of Yeshua's hand. Never. Finish that out, Hebrew.
Yeah, that was it.
You read down through 29?
Yes, sir. That was 29.
Oh, okay, that was 29. That's it. That's all on that then. Hey, man, we got more done. I thought I might be able to cut it down to five spots. We still got a bunch we still got to get though.
Yes, sir.
All right, so today we did what did we do today? We did the table, right? We did the candlestick, we did the table, we did the oil, and we did the showbread, correct?
Yes, sir.
So we still got 8.
Yeah, you touched on a little bit of the menorah.
Yeah, we're gonna get the rest of that coming back out.
Okay.
So we still got to do going in now. We still going into the tabernacle. We still got to do the veil. We got to do the 4 pillars. We got to do the ark. What's contained in the ark? Well, it might be 7. I just thought about it. What's contained in the ark. Then we got to work our way back outside the tabernacle, inside out. Okay. So that's the lesson. That's part 3 of the tabernacle. Yeshua seen in the tabernacle and the kingdom seen in the tabernacle. We will, Most High willing, we will be back in class next Shabbat. 1 p.m. next Shabbat, Most High willing. I want y'all to continue to keep our brother and our sister in constant prayer. You know what I'm saying? So do that. Hopefully I'll be hearing from him later on tonight or tomorrow. Give my brother some time, to continue to rest and recuperate. And y'all can keep them lifted up in prayers as you do. Keep everybody lifted up in prayer at all times because we late now.
Super late.
And the enemy's turning the heat up, and the Most High is shortening the days. Because if he didn't, he said there'll be no flesh saved alive. And even be possible if the very elect should fall and be fooled and fall by the wayside. Mike, you got any words of encouragement, anything you want to say to the people before we sign out?
Yeah, that second Baruch, to back up what you just said, he said, I sped up the time and the season for the judgment.
Yes, sir. Don't read that for the people. Don't read that for the people, bro.
All right. It's coming out the pseudo. Second Baruch 397. Hold on, I got it. There we go. This is Second Baruch chapter 20.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, behold, mine might read a little different from y'all pseudo, but it's the same thing. Therefore, behold, the days come, and the times will hasten more than the former, and the seasons will speed on more than those that are past, and the years will pass more quickly than the present. Therefore, now have I taken away Zion, that I may more speedily visit the world in its seasons.
We. And I keep telling you, they think they got time, Mike.
Yes, sir.
You ain't got no time. You better get this thing right now. You ain't got no time. But we thank y'all for getting on the feed. We thank y'all for your prayers and your well wishes. Hey, y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel. Send it out to your family members. Send it out to your co-workers. Do what you can do to help us get this word out. We on 4-5 platforms. Shouldn't be no issue. Getting it out there to your family members and your loved one. With that, we're going to get out of here. We're going to hope y'all have a peaceful and restful Shabbat. Hope you all were edified through the reading and the dispensation of the Most High's word. And we love y'all from the bottom of our heart. All praise, honor, and magnificent glory is unto our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob. To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. I got my nephew with me. 10 toes down, feet on the damn ground. I'm your boy T Boogie. We gonna holler at y'all on the other side. Kingdom over everything. Everything. You can say kingdom over everybody. Are you willing to put your mind, body, and soul on the line?
Call this kingdom over everything. I'm about my Abba's business, so I be my wedding ring. Married to the gospel, and I'm faithful, never giving up. That's what to the truth. My belief is in the spiritual. Do the work, plant the seed. Christ is what these people need. Not them doctors that y'all feed. Souls burning cause of greed. Hands to the pins out, and the spins that from my prison out. 10 toes down as I'm praying for my Chris out. Precept on them precepts while I let the spirit direct. Move I mistake, can't let the serpent dissect my soul away. Praying for the strength to make it through the day. Thoughts flying at me, but a beat just keep me trapped. Pappy say he got me long as I worship his son. He say I'll never lack as long as he is number one. He is. That's why I'm on my knees begging for forgiveness. Regardless what y'all think this kingdom business. Call it KOE. I won't let you get my life. I won't let you get my body. I'm a soldier of Yahweh. We gon' kill Illuminati. It's the kingdom over everything. We want the kingdom over everything. We call this KOE. I won't let you get my life. I won't let you get my body. I'm a soldier of Yahweh. We gon' kill Illuminati. It's the kingdom over everything. We want the kingdom over everything. We call this KOE. Got the spirit of Moses up against Janus and Jambres, exposing the lies. That's why these preachers is mad at me. Repping the covenant that was gave to my fathers. The spirit of Abraham got me drinking the water. I call that fully persuaded. I pray to God that I make it up out this booth I'm in. Spiritually speaking, spiritually speaking. From what I've been reading, as long as I'm breathing, this is what breathing. I mean it. I got this book and I'm fiending to do it. Study to prove it. You ain't gotta believe it. He gon' make doing this season. We gon' be bending our knees. We gon' help ruling this kingdom. For the wicked it ends. They all gon' burn in their sins. I'm on the straight path, never turning right or left. Narrow is the road to salvation. We talking life or death. That's why I'm on my knees begging for forgiveness. Regardless what y'all think, this kingdom business. Call it KOE. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. We call this KOE. Whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. Whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, bro. Love you, man.
Love you too, Aunt.
Man, I'm finna, me and my real finna go over here and drop off some food and stuff for Wardy's family, man. Cause they kind of locked in, you know what I'm saying? Cause she's sick too.
Okay.
So we finna go over there and take them some food, man. And hopefully I hear from my brother later on. Not I'll let him rest out tonight and I'll holler at him in the morning.
Okay.
All right, man. Send him a couple of scripts from Texas, man, and just keep him encouraged, bro.
Okay. That will.
All right, bro.
All right.
All right, bro. Shalom.